Hey folks, Twisted Christian here. There's been something that's been on me for a little while, and we pretty much know what it is. Most of us anyway. But I want to bring it up because I believe that this is what I'm discussing is related to the global currency reset and, maybe some other things. I mean, we've all expected the stock market to go down or crash or whatever the case. We expected the economy to get messed up, right, on a worldwide basis. We thought the debt was going to bring down the economy. And since the crisis, we already know that the stock market's being pumped up. And even beforehand, they were pumping it up, right? You guys remember I did this article, Federal Reserve admits it pumped more than $6 trillion to Wall Street in recent 6-week period. That's absolutely ridiculous, folks. And that happened before the virus. This economy was already in trouble. So I'm sitting here wondering, like, okay, they've been pumping trillions of dollars for years in this thing, and this thing is just going and going and going. So then I saw this news release, and I'm going to read some things. But you guys know that since the effect on the economy because of the virus, the Federal Reserve even got to a point to where they were pumping $1 trillion a day. So it had got to that point, but even before, pumping 200 billion, 50 billion here, 35 billion there, wherever the case, on a daily basis, and then it got to a point to where it was $1 trillion a day. It's absolutely insane. And I'm just going to say this, and this is just my thoughts. And these are just my thoughts. And there's this article about this Chinese professor, and he boasted about having people on the inner core, inside circle of the President of the United States and other facilities, right? So you can research that. But I wanted to pull some comments out of that. This is the reason why, first of all, the stock market hasn't crashed. And I'm beginning to realize there's a lot of, you remember there's a lot of new money in this economy, right? As far as the stock market, right? And you have a lot of these young traders, especially like on Robinhood and Webull, and it's been discussed where there was this influx of, billions of dollars into the stock market. So we know that the stock market is heavily manipulated, but I think it goes a lot deeper in different areas. And in this article, they talk about trying to fix this president because all the other presidents, they're friends, and they basically just do whatever they want them to do. And it says here that this professor, he was talking. I'm going to throw out something maybe a little bit explosive here. It's just because we have people at the top. We have old friends who are at the top of America's core inner circle of power and influence. During the U.S.-China trade war, Wall Street tried to help. And I know that my friends on the U.S. side told me that they would try to help, but they couldn't do much. But now we're seeing Biden was elected. The traditional elite, the political elite, the establishment, they're very close to Wall Street. So you see that, right? So who is he talking about when he's talking about Wall Street? Is he talking about the Federal Reserve? Is he talking about these different places like J.P. Morgan, certain banks, certain companies, major companies? And I believe there's another article where he does talk about, having individual investors that have a lot of influence. I believe he did mention that, because I still look for the stock market to go down at some point. And I think that everything that's going on with the elections, and I think that if everything is overturned, but also too, remember folks, in Kim Clement's prophetic word, it says that they have evil plans for us. And that's just something else that I'm throwing out there, and it deals with the stock market. I believe they have so much influence on the stock market that that's the reason why it's not crashing. And I think that they can crash this thing at will. I think they've got so much power and influence if they want to, and they're connected all over, right? They're all working together. They can really try to bring the stock market down. And one of the things that really got me, because Elon Musk, he's been kind of a pro-president type of person. So when I saw this, when Tesla trading at 650 gets a $90 price target from JP Morgan, this was an actual hit out on the stock. That's what I believe. Because the stock it's going crazy, and it's giving a positive outlook on the economy in this current president. It's helping, put it that way, right? And because his political ideology is different from what the political establishment elite want, they really got to try to do everything they can to make this stock keep from getting better. And I think there was to me, this is how I felt when I saw this, that it was done intentionally to hurt Tesla. So that's just my opinion. But I think there's a lot of major factors in the reason why, and I think that is being completely controlled. Being controlled by individual investors, and it's controlled by people on the inner circle, and I think they're doing what they are to keep things afloat until they are ready to bring it down. Because this thing, folks, like the first 3 or 4 months of the whole virus and the economy shutting down, come on, folks. This economy was already weak. There were so many issues that were going on in this economy that were below the surface. And there's so many going on right now, right? You look at the evictions, you look at credit card debt, you look at lost jobs, permanently lost jobs, unemployment. Unemployment's getting ready to run out for a lot of people from the beginning of this thing. Yeah, you could reapply, but, there's just not the jobs that are out there, right? There's a lot of bankruptcies going on. The food industry, the real estate industry. There are many different industries that are just suffering right now. Hey, Walmart's doing good. The people in the Dow are doing good, right? But underneath the surface, there is so much wrong. So I do have theories. We talk about the Kim Clement and the Dow being at 20,000. And I've even said, when we passed 20,000, we didn't see it, and maybe this is. And I presented a theory that maybe this is at 20,000, or something behind the scenes happened that we don't know about, that when it hit 20,000, it caused some kind of trigger. But guess what, folks? How long has it been? Yeah, it's been a couple years, right? So I just wanted to put that out there, just some random thoughts on why this economy hasn't crashed yet, and I just really believe that it's just being controlled, and at any moment, at any time, I think they're going to pull that trigger, and I think a lot of it's going to come in retaliation when things do change concerning this election. So just tell me what you think about this, because we should have seen a crash, folks. We should have seen this economy tank with all the things that are wrong, but we haven't seen it yet. So anyways, folks, thank you for listening. Be safe. God bless. With that being said, Twisted Christian out.